Beamng Drive. It's a video game known for its high-paced action, fast crashes, and more crashes. But the maps are incredibly detailed, and there's a lot of details that often get overlooked because you're driving around so fast the whole time. Now, after taking a small drive, I started to notice more of these things. I'm gonna go show you my favorites. One really interesting thing in this game is the bus stops. They're incredibly detailed in their construction, and they look to be pretty well constructed. If you notice, there's some bolts here holding this piece of what looks like corrugated sheet metal on. It's very artistic, and it's incredibly nicely done. As you can see, there's one over there on the other side of the street, and there's a lot of details here. For example, how these seats are screwed in somehow, even though they don't have screw holes. And also this detailed bus map, which let me get around on the other side here, which is incredibly detailed, and it points out a bunch of locations. Now, I think that's really interesting, but what's even more interesting is over here at this intersection, there's no stop signs or anything. So it's just kind of a free-for-all, I guess, because if you're going to the tunnel, there's no stop sign, and if you're coming from the tunnel, it looks like there's no stop sign in it. I think these white lines on the ground mean that there's supposed to be a stop sign here or something. Maybe I'm rusty on my car rules, but that doesn't really make sense. So I guess you could treat this as a two-way stop with a thoroughfare for, you know, the trolley and such. And you can see the markings on the ground of where you're not supposed to drive, but this is the only place on the road. So I'm just gonna assume you can drive there. I'm gonna go inspect that tower. That looks incredibly detailed. Gotta walk back to my car. Oh, there's no rating on these. What are these? Who knows? Alright, so I assume here you're just supposed to stop. And I guess you just yield to the oncoming traffic. I think that makes the most sense. Alright, it doesn't look like there's anybody here. One thing I'm initially noticing about this factory is this very tall tower here. I wonder if I can get up that, because this downtown district doesn't look very busy, so I don't think anybody would really notice. I have to see if I can find some sort of entrance. I saw a gate over there, so I guess I should walk over there. That's strange. These power lines don't connect to anything. This one just ends here. It looks like none of these power lines connect to anything. Now, I'm not sure what type of factory this is supposed to be, but I really appreciate that smokestack as a detail, since it's fairly detailed. Oh, there's a break in the fence right here. I feel silly. Alright, my initial impressions of this factory are these dumpsters make me think this is some sort of processing plant for something, maybe, because there's a lot of these fellows here, and they're quite large. And outside of these, there's just miscellaneous unsorted garbage, which I'm not a fan of, because that's really not the way you should be operating a business. Unless, of course, someone threw them over, but that wouldn't explain why the garbage is face up. So it's one thing that's strange. This actually looks abandoned. Maybe it's become some sort of a local hangout spot for the hooligans and riffraff. Right, we have these. These are haphazardly placed. And it looks like this borders the road, which that's quite shocking, and these fences just look like they're put in gravel. And I'm really hoping this road isn't also built on gravel, because that would not be structurally stable, in my opinion. I don't know, though. Alright, we have another large power line, which this one also doesn't connect to anything, which I think that's quite strange. And then you also have this one here. It's just, they could be connected, maybe underground. That could be what this building's for. Alright, we just got a basic building here. I like that this building is wheelchair accessible. It always really ticks me off when buildings aren't wheelchair accessible. It's a pet peeve of mine. I just like, because you could build it like that, but then they don't. And it looks like this area is fenced around off here, and it's contained with this factory sort of area up here. So maybe this is a part of the same property, both owned by the same company or person. Oh, I gotta get to that smokestack, see what's up there. But that's my thought. This is also kind of an odd loading area. Maybe it connects to the pier, but it wouldn't make sense why the trash cans are up there. There must be some underground facilities, because it looks like the smokestack doesn't connect to anything. Alright, up here, my impressions of this, I really do think this is a cool smokestack, actually. I think it adds a lot to the detail and the environment. If you walk around here, you can see that it's quite a beautiful view, actually. You have a view of this the bridge. You have a view of the raceway just a little bit over here. So if you had binoculars, that would be quite an incredible experience. And you can see someone's sitting on the highway over there. I'm not sure what they're doing. But this actually is very good because it gives us another vantage point of the property which this fence connects to. So if we look over here, it looks like this is a processing plant, and this tower is probably related to that. And to me, those look like the water storage tanks that are in my area. But one thing I really do find odd is that red dumpster there, because there's no really easy accessible way to get that out of there unless that fence over there is some sort of gate, which might be the case, but still that's not a very good placement because they clearly don't have a problem with theft because there's one outside there, but this one inside is confusing since this little strip of land is awkward and looks like it's kind of vacant and unused. So I really think there's some potential with this land, maybe for some storage, maybe for small buildings. Hell, you could turn it into a small park, but I'm not sure you're allowed to do this since it looks like an industrial sector. But I think that's a really interesting detail. So I'm going to head down there and check out if there's any connections. Alright, going down here around on the ground view, it's clear that this property is just, it's like unused and unfilled potential because there's so much that you could do with this here. And I'm really not quite sure why they're not developing it. As you can see, some of the local youth have graffitied it, which I think that's very interesting. See, you have barriers here, which I'm not quite sure the purpose of that either, because there's nothing over here. Maybe they have a problem with people going into this turn. As you can see, here's a pure warehouse location. Oh, that's really strange. There is no connection to that dumpster right there, so there's no way to get that dumpster out. Maybe they built the building around the dumpster over there and they forgot about it. That could be a possibility. All right, here we are at the industrial area near the warehouse for this sort of water processing plant dealing, and it looks like there's not really an accessible way to get to this water plant, although it seems, you know, some people did find it. So this could be an unused piece of infrastructure in the city. And here we have another one of those power line connectors, but this time it's not even connected to anything. It looks discarded and unused. So I'm not really sure why this would be the case unless it was abandoned and this was disconnected, which that's really wasted potential since this is a prime location in the city. This looks similar to a portable one. As you can tell from the rust, it looks like it hasn't been used for quite a long time. Look at the inside, it's just empty there. It's terrible, it's a waste of space. They could really be using this area for something, because in my opinion it looks abandoned. Now this warehouse area next to this little industrial bit is another area I find very interesting because it mirrors similar areas in real life. If we go in here, you can see it looks like a port loading and unloading area, and there's some offices up there. Like the other one, this looks not abandoned, but almost vacant in a way. I saw a sign back there that said employee parking was back here, but I really don't see it. See, there's some rails in the ground, which that's incredibly interesting. I wonder what those are used for. Looks like we got some doors there. That's quite strange, especially since they just lead inside. Maybe that's for the off hours, easier than opening a whole garage door. We have stacks of pallets, but no ships. These garage door openers are quite interesting because I'm not sure how they work. It looks like there's a motor up there, but I don't see for any way for it to be connected. Maybe it's some sort of internal mechanism. Oh yeah, it does look like an internal mechanism since the roll got smaller from the rolled down door. But I still don't see a way for this, for a motor to be connected. I don't see any wires going to this for the roll, and I also don't see really a way that this roll is mounted to the wall. It's just kind of there. There's less thought put into this clearly than there was at the bus stop, but the whole warehouse area is still quite detailed. For example, I like these lighting fixtures. I think they look very nice. Look at these. They're miniature pallets. That's adorable. I'm very curious. I don't know what's inside these crates, but I would like to know. It's they look pretty big, so I think it'd be really interesting to find out what's inside of these. But I can't open them, which is too bad. Let's see. Here's the blue door that was seen outside earlier. Oh, the notice on this is backwards. Absolutely. Authorized personnel. That's very interesting. I wonder why the label's backwards. And then there's a little, what I assume could be an office area up these doors. I don't know, since I can't go inside there. But I think it'd be cool if you could rent out like an area up there and just chill. And watch all the little, you know, I assume forklifts drive by, so maybe this is an off day for the port. Because it's very empty. Especially in a busy city like this, you'd think it'd be, you know, full all the time, so maybe there's something going on. There's another dumpster inside of this. I gotta go check that out. Look at that, there's another dumpster here. But this time you can actually get it outside of the building since there's a way to access it. Unlike the dumpster over there, which is it's just trapped behind a fence with no way to get out. I like they put the no parking sign where the dumpster is. See, is there one behind there? Yeah, there is. Because most of these connect to some sort of overhang structure, but it looks like this one doesn't. Oh! We got some companies over here. We got Rent-A-Box, Secure Storage. I'm assuming... I don't know, maybe they pick stuff up from the port and store it for you, and I know they definitely do that, or something similar to that. Maybe they handle imports. Oh! The label on this garage door opener isn't backwards. That's really interesting. On that one, I think it's also on that side, but it looks like the label on it's backwards. I could be wrong, though. We have some parking out here. Looks like someone missed their parking spot and crashed into some of the bullyards. Nice tree. And then there's this area out here with some, no deal line. Huh. Oh my god! Is that... Wait. It almost looks like that creates some sort of an illusion. This, no deal loin. Let's see. It almost looks like it's supposed to be something from when you view it at an angle. I shouldn't be looking at the road. Okay, I have to get out of my car to go inspect this. So it says dawn from that angle almost. Maybe it's not supposed to say something. I'm just being crazy. And over here, it looks like we have another stack of these little shipping containers. With, you know, you have Oil-X, it's car parts. Some more car parts. This logo really looks like it's supposed to be an illusion. I wonder what that spot on the wall is from. And over there we have another container. Wait, no way. This one looks inaccessible also. That's incredible. here's another dumpster underneath this overhang roof sort of deal, and much like the other one located over there, this one is also inaccessible. It looks like if you want to get this out, you might be able to fit this out, but this overhang doesn't look like it's sturdy in construction. As you can see over here, it's not even mounted to anything, it's just floating, which I really think that's a large cause for concern. These ones are also floating, not this one. This one's on the ground, but it doesn't look like it's connected to anything. And we have a pile of dirt over here. And another dumpster, which also appears to be inaccessible. If you wish to remove it or empty it out in some sort of way. Yeah, there's stuff in front of it. Looks like you can't get it out. Oh wait, no, never mind. It is on a pile of sand though, so that might make it difficult. And over in this lot, we have another fenced off area with a, looks like a power line transformer here. It's also not connected to anything. It has the same type of light pole from the other area. But one thing I notice about this is it's completely fenced off with no way to access this dumpster or remove it when it gets full. There's also a small brick building there I need to investigate. I'm really not sure why these fences are here when you can just hop over. This is a very interesting little brick building. I'm very curious as to what it does. Some wires connected to... Oh, we do have wires connected to this. Maybe it could be an underground connection. But yet again, this dumpster, you can't access it. So it's, I'm wondering how they even got those pallets right here. I'm wondering how they even got those over here. This billboard has no way to access it. And at the end of this industrial area, there's this little bridge here, which I think is really interesting because the ends of the handles for the pedestrian walkway are just floating. And also it looks like this is a sort of sidewalk area, but that's also kind of blocked off unless you go around. This area also sucks if you're a pedestrian, since you get this little walking area, whereas the cars get the whole road. So this is pretty unsafe if you're a pedestrian, especially if you're cycling, which in the city a lot of people do. This also doesn't look wide enough to be wheelchair accessible, so that really sucks. Now I'd assume this is a two-way flow of traffic, maybe with the path on each side, but I really think the placement of the frames here is very poor. Look, I even have to walk around, I think, because it's just completely inaccessible with this barrier here. So that creates a very unsafe walkway. Oh, is this bridge moving? Is it supposed to be? Why is there a huge block of concrete there? Could that be supported by just those two pillars? Now, one thing I didn't mention about the bridge is it has a wonderful view of the very blue ocean, and it also gives you a good vantage point of the industrial area over here. Now, my initial impressions of this industrial area is at least part of it's owned by the government or the power company due to the connections, and my guess is the port. I don't know who owns that. I'm assuming it's a company. I'm not sure how ports work. I might do some research on that. Now, in the industrial area, there's just one area left I'm curious about, and that's these two large buildings, which seem to mark the border between the rest of the town and the industrial area. Another steel coil. Now, I can't tell if this building's supposed to be residential or if it's some sort of office building, but I appreciate the details of the bus stops outside the building. Look at that, this area is fenced off, but it looks like there's no doors to get into the building. I guess it'd be a residential since I don't see any signs marking it or anything. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching my video about me ranting about power lines and also dumpsters.